occurrences just beyond the reach of understanding.
Hey there, ponderers of the paranormal and members of the Patreon family. How are you all doing this evening? It is episode 51 of the Paranormally Zone Patreon account. I don't like calling it that way. The Paranormally Zone, what do we want to call it, Mike? This is for our family members. This is episode 51 of the Paranormally Zone exclusives.
Box of cookies.
The box o cookie. Okay, we'll call it that for tonight. The box o cookie, episode 51. It's been a while. It's been far too long for a
sure feels like it.
Patreon episode. We have not forgotten about this. We will not forget about this. This is very important to us. It's very important to us to keep getting entertaining content out to you guys. We appreciate you all so much. Help spread the Patreon word for the Paranormally Zone.
Hope it's entertaining, because I don't think we ever hear if it is or not.
Well, no, we get positive.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, Jesus. I can never, Mike. I can never tell when you're BSing or, I shouldn't say never. A lot of times I can't tell when
You've been getting better about my,
yes, I have.
My poker face.
I have, yeah. Thanks, Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
We should have her on the show. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I think that we should have
real easy to get
Kesha
a hold of
on the show and talk about her show, her paranormal show.
I don't know, man. That stuff irritates me. I don't care who it is. For some reason, even back, okay, this little behind the scenes here, a little stuff that you don't necessarily need to reveal, but I will. I remember despising Jack Osborne getting into the damn paranormal.
Oh, he's awesome on it, though.
Yeah, but I remember despising the fact that he got into it just because he's Jack Osborne, because he's Ozzy's kid, and I couldn't stand him on the flippin' stupid-ass reality show that they had years ago, and I'm like, what? So this is the only reason you get a paranormal show. This is the only reason that you are having a career in this field is because of who gave birth to you. Not saying that Ozzy gave birth to him, but you know what I mean.
Right. That did help a lot. But he is a genuine, huge fan of the paranormal.
No, a 100%.
And a great believer. He's fun to watch on these shows.
That's what I was going to get to, was that, I have definitely softened on my view of Jack Osborne for sure. And I feel bad for immediately, not feeling very well.
Oh, that's okay.
Him, but
you got to go through your processes of acceptance that you have in your head.
And I've done that in a lot of ways. A lot of ways I haven't.
Patrick really hated me the first 3 years that we knew each other.
I did not. Well, it's a running joke. It's a running joke between Bridget and myself too, because she remembers me of how because we were. We were friends before we started dating, and she remembers me being very, very opinionaed when it comes to music and stuff. And shocking,
really.
And I still am, but I was really bad back in the day, where I would just basically come, and I didn't mean to, but I would come across as just a jerk. If you listen to something that I didn't like, and I'd immediately tell you that you're an idiot for liking it. And if I didn't use those exact phrases, I would pretty much phrase it so you would understand it like that.
Yeah, but then when you were going through this and saying these things to people, here you were listening to that
shut up
Nazi devil music.
Nazi devil music? I don't know who you're talking about. Oh, are you calling Depeche Mode Nazis?
Oh no, I like Depeche Mode.
Okay, well, who are the Nazis?
Are people.
I guess I'm that was a terrible Dave Gone by the way. But-
It was no imitation whatsoever.
Hey, by the
But
way,
anyway, yeah.
for the Retro and Randoms episode, one coming up. If you can't make it, Mike, my brother Joe would love to join me for a Depeche Mode episode. If you can't make it for one weekend, is that okay with you? That Joe and I get together for Retro and Randoms? Oh my God, he's silent. He's mad at me now. I guess not.
After the last time all three of us got together, boy, you'll never do that again, will you?
Well, I absolutely will, but you just gotta.
But not Depeche Mode.
You can't take.
I don't
shots.
fit into the Depeche Mode. I was listening to Depeche Mode before you were freaking born.
I wasn't saying that. Okay, all right. I'll let Joe know.
No, I was just gonna say.
I'll say that Mike
perfectly
threw a fit.
fine.
I'll say that you threw a fit on the air, and I hurt your feelings.
No, you didn't.
But anyways,
You go ahead and do whatever goddamn thing you want to do with your brother. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, that would be fine. That would give me more time to do working on my quilt or whatever, or you know,
working on your quilt. How about working on your Annalise drawing? How's that coming along?
Boy, you should see that thing. That's pretty awesome.
You're lying totally through your teeth right now.
Well, you have liked it from what you have seen.
Yeah, and that was like a month and a half ago.
Yeah. Hey, you know me and how it takes time.
Unfortunately, I threw away my alien drawing. I believe I did.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't like how it was going.
So. At least I still have mine that I'm going to finish. You 3 years away.
Yeah, because I want quality work, and I didn't think it was quality work.
All right.
So, anyways, but back to who are the Nazis that you're talking about that I listen to? I'm curious. I listen to Nazi music. Good Lord Almighty! Are you talking about the lightning bolt shaped S's and in the KISS emblem? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know. I'm talking a lot right now because Mike's frozen, so I'm probably frozen to him too. So if it's just me, that's why. Boy, Mike just looks really mad. He's frozen in a face of utter anger. Okay, he's back. There he's back.
You had me listen to somebody that was like a German band.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
And it was that deep exorcist sounding screaming voice.
Wasn't it Rammstein?
Well, I was going to say that, but I didn't want to say that because
I love Rammstein.
I thought they were better than that. I don't know.
Oh, they're awesome. I don't think I had you listen to anything that was. Well, maybe I had you listen to a band called Combichrist. Was that?
Yes, that sounds more like it, and that was pretty hard.
Yeah, they're American. They're not. They're not German. So
they're just fluent in German.
No, they sing. Well,
this was German stuff. I think
German stuff.
Yeah.
Was it? No, it couldn't have been Die Krupps. I love Die Krupps. There's another German band. Dang it, man! Now you're How long ago was this that you listened to this?
Geez, it was years ago.
Okay.
I can't remember.
And you're sure it wasn't Rammstein? You're positive it wasn't Rammstein?
It could have been. I don't know.
Rammstein, however the hell you want to pronounce it. So
I was going to say Rammstein.
Yeah, Rammstein. Who knows?
Yeah, it doesn't matter because just because I don't like something doesn't mean it's not quality, awesome stuff for anybody else.
Yeah, and I used to think
talent.
I used to be the exact opposite in thoughts.
Yeah,
and I'm ripping on myself. I wasn't that bad, but I couldn't help myself. Shut up. Okay. I couldn't help myself. If someone had some god awful country music garbage playing and around the bonfire, I'd be like, God, why do you listen to this?
That's the best beer drinking music there is, boy.
Yeah, if you drink enough of it and you don't notice what you're listening to.
But it's got to be Old Mill.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
And then if you get too much country music that you can't stand anymore, just pour a little bit in each ear and it'll burn your eardrums out like acid.
I think so, absolutely. I think I said this to Bridget the other day, and this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. We're going to dive into the Jersey Devil here, by the way. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
The worst beer I ever bought in my life was when I was living in Duluth, and I bought, I'm not joking here, it was less than $2 for a 6-pack. It might have been a 12-pack. I'm not sure. This was back in the late 90s. It was a brand called Black Panther. Have you ever?
Did it have a fist on the up in the air on?
No, it had a feline. It was a feline. It was a cat, and it was just a jet black can with like a blue outline of a panther on it, and it was
with crossed eyes.
Awful. That made me go cross-eyed when I was drinking it. God dang it!
Yeah,
I was a very I was a very
Better get-
poor college student, so I had to buy very cheap beer every now and then.
Yeah, you should be getting yourself checked for kidney and liver cancer even years after.
Just from that thing alone, I know that had to be some sort. Had to
Yeah.
be contaminated with something.
There's a lot of bad beers, but Old Milwaukee, I mean, there are people who love Old Milwaukee.
Of course,
But
sure.
I've had it once, and boy, I tell you, oof,
Yeah, it's
No.
not for everybody. Not for
it
everybody.
is not for me.
Say, Mike, the Jersey Devil here. This is a
Yes.
topic that we have mentioned briefly. I'm sure we've mentioned it briefly on
I know we have, yes.
throughout the years, but we've never really done here we go again, deep dive into the topic. And
No.
I want to be totally frank. You can be Mike. It's something that I for years and years I never felt like we could pull off an entire episode talking about the Jersey Devil, because it just didn't seem like there was a lot to the story. Am I absolutely wrong on that? Probably. Just from the brief research I did today, I would say, yeah, I am wrong. There is a lot to the legend, a lot to the story.
And the birth and the beginning.
Yeah, quite literally the birth. You know?
Yes, exactly.
Is this something that you've been familiar with for a while, Mike, or at least aware of for a while?
It's not like I've been familiar with that like I have with, all the other things that we're interested in, but I would say it would have to go back to the 80s sometime in the 80s, maybe that I had first stumbled across that.
I don't even remember when I was first, I guess, introduced to the legend. I'm sure I saw it on like some programming or some form or another. I don't think Leonard Nimoy's In Search Of ever did anything on the Jersey Devil. I don't think it did.
No,
covered
not that I remember.
So it might have been in some later reincarnations. What was the show that I can't think of the name right now, but it was really before this. I mean, years before this big explosion of paranormal programming. I want to say it was on
Unsolved
Fox.
Mysteries?
No, it wasn't Unsolved Mysteries. It was something. It was on the very really early incarnation of Fox, when Fox was basically just the news and a bunch of weird programming. Well, it was considered weird programming. One of them was a paranormal / kind of monster mystery show. I know we've talked about before, and I can't pull the name.
My mind is starting to spin because
Yeah, let's see here.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I want to say it was 1990s, maybe. Well, how long has Fox been around? Was that formed in the late 80s?
Oh, geez, I don't know.
1990s Fox TV paranormal shows. If listeners can tell, I am searching on my phone.
I am too, but it's okay.
Sightings. That's what it was.
Sightings. Oh, I used to love that show.
Yeah, I want to say that maybe they did something on the Jersey Devil. Perhaps they did. There were five.
What were the
5
years on that?
seasons.
Do you have that?
5 seasons of
Really?
sightings. It started in. The show began as a special titled "The UFO Report Sightings," October 17th, 1991.
Really?
Wow. Yep. Okay. I remember that. I'm very, very glad I was able to find that name. Original release, it ran from October 17th, 1991, ended December 23rd, 1998. Those were the specials. The series began April 17th, 1992, ran through September 11th, 1997. So there you go. 92 to 97. So it's forever ago to our youthful listeners, but seems like yesterday to old farts like you and I, Mike.
Yeah, no kidding.
What do you got? What pops into your brain, Mike? If you met someone at a bar, let's say Mike's hanging out at a bar. He and Mary are hanging out at the bar. They left Macy at home, safe and sound in her giant kennel. But you come across some old friends. They sit down. You start talking about your interests, and of course, ghosts and cryptids come up. And then let's say your pals are originally from New Jersey. They say, have you guys ever heard of the Jersey Devil? What would you say to your friends in that situation, Mike? And how would you impress them with your knowledge of the Jersey
That I have
Devil?
right now?
Well, this is a situation. It's This isn't real, Mike. I'm you're not I'm not putting you on trial right now. This isn't a test. You can relax. How would you banter back and forth about the New Jersey Devil? I keep saying New Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil. What comes off the top of your noggin? Besides
maybe
hair?
something like I would ask them a question. What do you know about Mother Leeds, and what can what can you tell me about her and her life?
Let me rephrase
and we'll
that.
banter back about that.
Let me rephrase that then. If this was a test and you were required to submit a 3-paragraph answer, an essay answer, 3 paragraphs, would you be able to do it?
No. But I could if I put a lot of just bantering words in the middle, like every 10 words are like blah 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 or something,
I'm telling you right now, and I'm not patting myself on the back. That was one of my skills, man, was being able to just write and write and write. I used to want to be a writer, by the way, but I could, if I was given a final exam and it was all on essays and I didn't have any clue what the topic was about, I only had like an inkling of knowledge, I'm not patting myself on the back. I would get an A I would get an A on that damn thing because I knew how to write and I knew how to make it sound like I knew what I was talking about.
No, it's because you're a born bullshitter.
There you go. Okay, fine. Put it that way.
Whatever works, right? Whatever you want to call it, it works.
But I still have to be grammatically correct. I have no typing errors and all that stuff. So I was proud of myself back in the day, Mike. So come on.
De frickety do. Enough of that.
Yeah, I agree. See, now I feel like I'm
Patrick, you're so pompous.
So it's so far we're trying to talk about the Jersey Devil, and all we've come to the conclusion is that I'm an arrogant, opinionated ass.
Patrick's big ass fat head.
Yep. So we're about 17 minutes in. We've barely discussed the Jersey Devil, but we have pointed out and made perfectly clear that I am an opinionated asshole who is arrogant and thinks that all of his writings are A+ worthy. Okay.
You're an arrogant asshole that needs a good wiping.
Oh, yuck.
No, I'm kidding.
Are you?
Everybody knows that I do love Patrick. I really do.
Okay.
But he's so sensitive that you gotta just shove this crap on him when he does this.
By the way, Mike, I am, and you know what? When I was hanging out with you guys, and I had just updated my stupid Facebook photo, and I hate having
Facebook. Yes,
I hate having Facebook, but I have to manage. I have to manage the podcast page and my arts page, and I had updated this picture. And then Mike, we're talking about because you made me laugh because you put a photo or a GIF of George. I say Takei, but apparently that's not how it's
George Takei.
George Takei,
Sulu from Star Trek.
Where he goes, oh my, and then Mike was
winks
and Mary was saying something about the picture or asking about it, and you said, yeah, Patrick posted a picture where he's trying to look all sexy and blah blah blah, and that bothered me so much I immediately removed that picture because I'm like,
I felt bad after that.
It's like, do I really look like I'm trying to look like sultry or something?
No, because you'd never make it.
Very true. That's a great point. That is a great point.
But no, the thing about Patrick, about you though, is you talk about the grammatical stuff, and you talk about how you would be able to do this, and with not a lot of knowledge on something. That's not you being a big-headed whatever. It's not you being a bullshitter. It's you being the perfectionist that you are, and you can pull shit out of your ass to make it happen.
No, that's very true. And I thank you for saying that.
And that's what I actually truly honestly mean.
Yeah.
Not the other stuff.
And it doesn't mean that I don't actually know and retain a few things, but I do make myself appear, well, this is going to sound bad, but I am very good at making myself appear smarter and more intellectual than I am.
Well,
so maybe that's a skill. I don't know what that
is. And with me, I don't give a shit if somebody,
I don't.
And that's me.
Yeah, there you go. Well, to each their own, Mike. Anyways, we got to talk about the Jersey Devil here.
Yes, we do. There's a lot to be talked about, actually.
I'm going to pull out one of my trusty books right here, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
American Monsters. And yes, I'm going to fly through some of this, and it's going to be one of those ridiculous ones where it seems like I'm reading 1 million miles an hour. I can't speak. Miles an hour because I am. American Monsters, A History of Monster Lore, Legends, and Sightings in America by Linda S. Godfrey. And her chapter 5, The Jersey Devil, the Monster of the Pines. I'm going to peruse some of these, some of the writings here. Okay, Mike, are you with me here?
I am.
Are you with me? Now, according to authors Mark Schuerman and Mark Moran, authors of Weird New Jersey, they provide a definitive description of this potpourri creature that they've been documenting around their home state for decades. Quote unquote, the tracks resemble the claw prints of a strange bird or the footprints made by a two-legged creature. Actual sightings are less common, but those who catch a glimpse describe a weird collection of animal parts. The body of a kangaroo, the head of a dog, the face of a horse, large leathery wings, antlers like a deer, a forked reptilian tail, and intimidating claws. So right off the bat, what the hell's going on there? That sounds like a monstrosity of all monsters.
It sounds like the offspring of one hell of an orgy. Jeez.
That's a great way of putting it there. I never thought about that. Yeah, that's like the love child of a Wendigo and a flipping bat squatch and any number of things.
But you look at a very old image of it, like a drawing that goes way back.
Yeah.
You see the claws and you see like the feet almost like hooven feet. Hooven feet, I should say.
There you go.
Hooven. There's a word I made up that you probably didn't like.
Nope. I lost a few pounds just by listening.
Bat wings, a long neck. It's just, you can see the face of a horse, head of a dog kind of thing, but very bizarre.
Now, right off the bat, I'm just going to be honest here because that's what we're all about. The physical descriptions of this alleged creature, for people like me, that makes it less believable. Is that fair to say? Where are you along that, Mike? With the more bizarre like that, does that make it less believable to you, or does that make it more interesting?
It makes it very interesting, but it makes you question a lot more.
Yeah.
But you also have to realize that, how people say, there's more in this world, in this universe that we have no understanding of.
And, there's several explanations as to why it's described that way. The lighting, the conditions around them, their environment, their state of mind. Any number of things could help to describe this weird, I don't know, what's the word? Almagaba. That's the word right there. I had it and I lost it. Now I have to look up that word. And I don't want to. What word am I looking for, Mike? Help me out here. Mike doesn't.
I'm not catching it.
Amalgamation?
Amalgamation.
See, you know what I'm trying to pull.
I do.
Right?
It's like a combination concoction. Amalgamation.
There it is, right there. Yes,
amalgamation.
Yes. Okay. And it has nothing to do with what I was looking for either. So.
Okay, never mind.
No, it kind of does. It kind of does. Because it says right here, a combination of two or more companies into a new entity. That's one description of it. So I get it. Yeah.
Sure.
Combination of a bunch of those body parts for sure. I apologize, listener, we sounded like a couple of kindergartners right there. But hey, that's what we're good at every now and then. Now, this bizarre zoological wonder, Mike, is associated with often associated with a local legend said to date back to the 1700s. Now, let's briefly go over this. God, I'm losing my lighting here. Let's briefly go over this legend, shall we? Something like the creature described in that old legend is still being cited, and actually on one occasion was fired upon by police. I didn't know that.
Really?
I had never heard about that.
No.
That's pretty interesting. That's pretty serious stuff if there's actual police reports because they have to take note of all that when shots are fired, obviously.
And then after the shots are fired, and then they're walking towards what they think they may have shot, and all of a sudden you hear, "No, this Fred's cow got out of the pen again."
That's right. Sorry, Fred. We got to tell Fred that we killed the damn cow again. Sorry about that. I don't know.
City owes Fred $50.
Let's see here. The quote-unquote the Barrens, Mike, is a 7-county stretch of dense tree canopy, blueberry farms, and cranberry bogs.
Pine Barrens.
Situated between the sprawling urban area around Philadelphia and the Atlantic Ocean. So it has a very unique habitat, for sure. Sandy soil, sprouts carnivorous plants, rare species of pines, and
plenty of fruit and deciduous trees.
A plethora of elderberries. I don't know about elderberries, but back in the year 1735, as the story goes, the Pine Barrens also hatched this mystery. What mystery are we talking about? Well, I'll tell you. That's when, on one of the many versions of this legend, an Atlantic County woman named Deborah or Jane Leeds. I didn't know that she had. That's not even known what her first name is. It's either It's either Deborah or Jane. And that's pretty different.
Yeah, and also that's also the reason that the Jersey Devil also is known as the Leeds Devil.
There you go. Absolutely. Well, Miss Leeds discovered that she was with child, pregnant, for those who don't know what that means. The baby would be the family's 13th. Oh, excuse me. Which, of course, we all know what the number 13 supposedly means. It's a number associated with ill omens. The family head count of 13 children wasn't unusual back in those days. But the Leeds family could barely feed the children they already had. Now Deborah/Jane allegedly cursed her unborn child for the extra burdens it would bring on said family.
Right. Well, then, hey, it's their own fault.
It's their own fault. Hey, I'm going to curse thee.
Yeah.
So, come on now. Okay, what do you expect?
No more sex. No more baby.
Well, what do you think about curses, Mike? Briefly, what do you think about curses?
Boy, curses.
Do you buy into it?
I think curses are a lot more psychological than, you know.
100%. Yeah.
You put a curse on somebody, and if they believe it, boy, then you're gold. I curse you.
I tell you, man,
and let them go from there.
Some of those sports curses, though, there's so much history behind that. I mean, the curse, the Billy Goat curse for, we got the Cubs and the Red Sox, when the Red Sox sold Babe Ruth.
Yeah, Babe Ruth, big curse for many years.
Until they finally busted it in 2004, I believe it was. Led by former Twin Dave Ortiz, who the Twins got rid of before they had a chance to turn into a Hall of Famer. So that's another wonderful decision the Twins made. Anyways, sorry about that. Yeah, so it goes on to say here that obviously curses are seldom without consequence. Well, duh. And when Deborah/Jane's due date arrived, the family was shocked, Mike, to see their new little family member transform itself into a hideous, murdering demon.
So it was actually born as a human child and then transformed.
That's how I have understood it. It was born.
Yeah, because while you were reading all that before transformed came up, I was thinking, how is this going to come out of this lady without causing extreme damage?
I know. Those damn antlers, man. Good Lord.
The feet, forked tail, hooves, cloven hooves. It says here cloven hooves.
Yeah, I know, but you said hooven.
Cloven, yes.
I know, but you said hooven.
Hooven, yeah, well. But you know what I meant.
Because I know you, so I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, botan.
Oh, God, don't say that. Okay,
but that's a word. I looked it up and proved it to you on an episode.
It is not a word. I don't care what it said.
Okay.
It will never be a word. It shall never be a word. It shouldn't be a word. I curse said word. Okay. But after transforming into a hideous murdering demon, now did it murder like instantly? Because they describe it transforming into a murdering demon.
Killed everybody in the room.
Apparently.
It has taken all of their lives.
There you go.
There's another one.
Botten their souls and tooken it with them. It then sprouted horns And you're right here. It sprouted horns and immediately massacred the entire family.
Okay.
What the bloody deed accomplished, it ran howling into the Pine Barrens, where it hid for nearly 2 centuries. Not without sightings, and of all sorts. Audible sightings, I should say. Or not sightings. They heard it. That's what I'm trying
Would you
to
like
say.
me to do a quick reading of what the
Oh, please.
one of the first sightings was?
Please. Yes, I want to hear it.
According to legend, while visiting the Hanover Mill Works to inspect his cannonballs being forged, Commodore Stephen
Ooh.
Decatur sighted a flying creature and fired a cannonball directly upon it to no effect.
A cannonball.
Oh, did you know this? Joseph Bonaparte, elder brother of Napoleon,
Oh, yeah.
is also claimed to have seen the Jersey Devil while hunting on his border town estate about 1820.
Holy shit. No, I never heard of that one.
Crazy.
Was
And then-
Joseph as short as Napoleon? Does he have
Probably.
Does he have Joseph syndrome?
Yes. Had a handprint on his stomach.
He did.
Well, bad joke. And then jumping to the 1840s, the Jersey Devil was blamed for several livestock killings. Similar attacks were reported during 1841, accompanied by tracks and screams.
Mm.
Good Lord, it just goes on and on and on.
I know the first audio recording of the Jersey Devil was quite simply they were saying
Oh, I thought you were going to play another one.
no, I don't have it. But I pressed the button too soon. I was like, "Are you out there, Jersey Devil?"
No.
Okay, so I pressed it too soon, and then of course you hear it running away, and it just sounds all weird and it sounds far too happy. Yeah, that's a very 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 happy Jersey Devil.
But there are certain things here that it's just kind of odd. Like, okay, in 1925, it goes on. I mean, there's a long time period where this is going on from something that is living to a ripe old age or is ageless.
Oh, I know.
In Greenwich during December 1925, a local farmer shot at an unidentified animal as it attempted to steal his chickens. Now, why would it need to steal chickens? Wouldn't it just go just take whatever it wants? Well, that's stealing.
Was it going to raise its own
But-
poultry farm too? or-
Oh, but then get this though, that when the farmer shot this unidentified animal, he then photographed the corpse. So this one was actually killed.
Hmm.
Afterward, he claimed that none of 100 people he showed it to could identify it.
So there's more. So this guy claimed to have killed this supposed Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
So that's
let's
suggesting that there's more than one.
Hmm.
Because sightings have continued. And when was
see. Yeah,
that?
but then why didn't that? Yeah, but then why didn't that one get killed when he hit it with a cannonball?
Yeah, cannonballs you think would at least give you a good bruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, I need to retrace my steps here, Mike. I'm going backwards here. After massacring the family, it ran off into the woods, hid for almost 2 centuries, but not without eyewitness accounts and stories. Locals reported hearing unearthly screeches as it made its forays into inhabited areas to steal livestock, as Mike mentioned. They called it the Phantom of the Pines, remained largely unknown outside its rural habitat until something roused it from its lair in 1909. That's when the creature went to town, literally, as it showed up in at least 30 different New Jersey communities in mid-January of that year. 1909 was a hot year for Jersey Devil sightings.
God, it even attacked a trolley car in Haddon Heights
I was
and a
just
social club in Camden.
I was just getting there. Are you reading the same book I am?
Good God, that's crazy. Yes, I must be.
Pets and farm animals began to go missing. Let's see here. Of course, the depredations were blamed on the creature now known as the Jersey Devil. Panic set in. Authorities made serious attempts to deal with the creature.
Police in Camden and Bristol, Pennsylvania, supposedly fired on the creature to no effect.
Oh, so that's the police report we were talking about
Yeah.
earlier. Okay.
Other reports initially concerned unidentified footprints in the snow, but soon sightings of the creature resembling the Jersey Devil were being reported throughout South Jersey and as far away as Delaware and Western Maryland.
Yeah, about that police report says here, although extremely elusive, the creature did leave footprints on the ground and on snowy rooftops. Ooh, that's kind of creepy. That kind of gave me the willies for some reason. That looked
And it
like
would
they were
jump
made.
from house to house.
The footprints made it look like they were made by large, as Mike calls them, hoovens. Police hunted the unknown beast with bloodhounds to no avail, and as Mike said, in Camden, it lingered long enough that it was seen by both a civilian group of eyewitnesses and a police officer who observed them drinking from his horse trough. Oh, that's weird. He fired at it
Because it's got a horse face.
There you go. So it can only drink out of a horse trough. Fired at it, but the creature disappeared unharmed, came back several days later. Yeah, that's pretty bizarre here. The creature seemed to settle back into its Pine Barrens home with only sporadic sightings till after its wild spree of 1909. But area residents say it did not go away and remains at large even in the present day.
You know, they must have believed this so much because it says during the widespread newspaper coverage, it created fear throughout the Delaware Valley, prompting a number of schools to close and workers to stay home.
No, that's stuff that you can't. That's real stuff. That's tangible stuff right there. I mean, this episode we've been kind of joking a little bit and kind of doing. We're not mocking it by any means.
Oh no, absolutely not.
But we're doing this kind of a humorous way, kind of taking the humorous take on it. But this, you can't deny the real life panic that set in.
Oh sure, and they even had vigilante groups and groups of hunters that roamed the pines. It says here, and countrysides in search of the devil. And during this period, it is rumored that the Philadelphia Zoo posted a $10,000 reward for the creature, and the offer prompted a variety of hoaxes, of course, including a kangaroo equipped with artificial claws and bat wings. And I think I had read somewhere else that actually in Camden, let's see. Okay, they were even offering to build a private zoo to house the creature if it was captured.
Really?
That could have been just a big
that could have been
publicity thing for the zoo or whatever.
Yep, that could be for tourism or anything. Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, Lorne Michaels
had the Jersey Devil as a guest on an early episode of Saturday Night Live.
God darn it. I keep calling them New Jersey Devils, and now it's Lorne Michaels. No, cryptozoologist Lorne Coleman, highly regarded gentleman, very polite, nice gentleman that we had the honor of briefly meeting.
Wonderful man.
Still want to talk to him.
Very old.
Excuse me. Still want to talk to him on the show, and he did agree to appear on the podcast.
Yes, he did.
Now, he's referring to one 1993 sighting here. One documentation. Off-duty summer park ranger which involved an off-duty summer park ranger. I was going to call him Michaels again. Lorne Coleman describes this in the 1995 issue of 14 Times. The ranger, John Irwin, was returning from a date. I do have to read this, Mike. Was returning from a date in a nearby community one evening as he drove through Wharton State Forest in a desolate area along the Mullica River, when he almost ran head-on into the sight of a lifetime. Irwin was sufficiently impressed that he filed an official account with the park ranger's office. His supervisor, Peter Gentile, wow, what a name, related some of that report for the magazine article, and it goes as this. But up ahead in the long shadows cast by his headlights, he noticed a large, dark figure emerge from the woods and move into the roadway. John, an experienced Park Service seasonal patrolman, thought the figure was a deer and slowed to let it across, but as he got closer, the creature defiantly blocked the roadway. John had to stop his car to avoid hitting it. Okay.
And it had a big horse face.
Had a horse face. It was dragging a horse trough behind him. Yeah, it was very, very angry. Had a couple bullet holes in its waist. Yeah. John went to say that whatever the creature may have been, it was like no deer he had ever seen. It stood fully upright and was covered in dark, matted fur with a shiny, wet look to it. He estimated its height at about 6 feet tall, had a deer-like head, which John clearly saw when the creature turned to stare at him with eyes that glowed red. As a park ranger familiar with wildlife, he knew immediately that this intense red color did not match the usual bright whitish-yellow shine of a deer's reflective eye membranes. Wow, okay. That's interesting. So what could this very down to earth, feet to the ground, head not in the clouds, park ranger, what what could he have seen that startled him such where he says, well, that looked like a damn deer, but it wasn't a damn deer. That's kind of crazy.
Well, and especially somebody that has probably has knowledge and witnessed most wildlife that would be in that area.
Yeah.
He would know if he was looking at something that he has never seen before and can't identify.
100%, man. 100%. Now, one thing that I wrote down earlier, Mike, and I mentioned it briefly, Wendigo. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of the Wendigo descriptions involve antlers. Or could we be possibly talking about this phenomenon? What do you think about that possibility?
Yeah. There are differences like in size and things and
absolutely. Yeah.
ferocity, possibly, but
and the Wendigo generally isn't an amalgamation of several different body parts. You know?
Right. Yeah.
But
that's a good point, though. That's a good point, though. I mean, it could be a different species of Wendigo. Who knows?
There you go. Who knows? Yeah, kind of an outcry.
If there's more than one species, I don't know. Depends on what kind of a creature it actually is.
Now, this blah blah blah. I talked about the 1909 sketch that Mike mentioned earlier. It says here, investigator Lon Strickler addressed the question as why sightings of the creature have tapered off. He addressed this on his website, Phantoms and Monsters, and he says there's a stigma attached to the Jersey Devil. People are wary of reporting sightings of this creature. I'm not sure if the reluctance is because of the fear of ridicule or that the legend has some ominous bearing to it. So there's that ridicule thing again, Mike. You know, we just talked about on the flagship podcast, Loch Ness, you know, and the 1,000 people who have reported seeing this thing, and they pretty much probably the only thing they've garnered or gained is ridicule. Same here.
Right.
I mean, people don't want to come forth when they. One, I would be so excited and ecstatic to tell someone, but then I'd start thinking about it too much, I think. And then
that's the way it is with every, phenomena like that, UFOs, ghosts, everything, Bigfoot, all of that. It's that fear of ridicule.
So I do want to get through this episode here. I know we're running late already, Mike. So another one of the possibilities, I'm perusing down this article, is a version of a chupacabra, actually.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, sure. Like the North American version of the South American chupacabra. That could be.
Let's see here. One pair of Tucson reporters had no trouble recognizing the chupa's similarity to the Wharton State Forest Jersey Devil, as reported by Park Ranger John Irwin, which we talked about. Gregory McNamee, or McNamee, McNamee, and Louis Urea wrote a piece called Hell Monkeys from Beyond.
Later to be used in the movie The Wizard of Oz. Or depending on when the book was written, I don't know.
Hell Monkeys from Beyond, Chupacabras come to the Sonoran Desert, or Sonoran, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, from the Tucson Weekly, May 1996 article. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure, Mike. Is this... this one is tough for me to buy. It just is.
It is.
I'm not saying it's not real. I'm not saying people haven't seen something. I totally believe they've seen something.
Yes.
But again, if people are there and people are aware, local residents are aware of the legend. Obviously, how could you not be? When you reside in the area and you see something that's unknown, you can't describe it. You don't know what it is, and quite frankly, it scares you. Well, What are you going to say you saw? Probably the Jersey Devil.
Mm-hmm. There's one thing here that shows that says about how the possible beginning of this story. And it is plausible. It makes sense. It doesn't account for, all the sightings except for what, you were saying about the, you see something, you're going to explain it as what you've grown up hearing about. That's what it's got to be. But
right.
The Jersey Devil could partially be nothing more than a creative manifestation upon the imaginations of the early English settlers. And that would have came around that same time. A little after, but with plausible natural But I can't even read. Plausible natural explanations, including boogeyman stories created and told by bored Pine Barren residents as a form of children's entertainment.
Hmm.
The byproduct of this historical local disdain for the Leeds family, blame it on them. The misidentification of known animals and rumors based on common negative perceptions of the local rural population of the Pine Barren.
Okay, Mike, you know what? Here's a question I have to ask, and I am admitting my ignorance.
Okay.
Was there a Leeds family massacre? Is that documented?
That's a good question. I should see if I can look that up real quick.
What I mean, because that makes you wonder, like, was there in fact a Leeds family?
Right, and then that could also, if there was a massacre, there's many stories that could come out of that, horror stories or whatever.
I'm going to type that in real quick. Leeds family massacre. Should I put in New Jersey as well? Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Because I'm interested if there's actually like some unsolved mystery associated with this.
Oh, now this goes to a story showing depressed father murdered family before killing himself in a fire. And their name was Leeds.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about. Well, wait, what's this?
Oh, they're talking about Leeds, England, maybe.
Okay, I found this. It says Brian Regal. Brian Regal, a historian of science at Keene University, theorizes that the story of Mother Leeds and the Leeds family, rather than being based on a single historical person, originated from colonial southern New Jersey religio/political disputes that became the subject of folklore and gossip among the local population. According to Regal, folk legends concerning these historical disputes evolved through the years and ultimately resulted in the modern popular legend of the Jersey Devil during the early 20th century. So I'm not seeing anything about actual people, an actual family massacre. Oh, it goes on here. Regal contends that colonial era political intrigue involving early New Jersey politicians Benjamin Franklin and Franklin's rival almanac publisher Daniel Leeds resulted in the Leeds family being described as quote-unquote monsters, and it was Daniel Leeds' negative description as the Leeds Devil rather than any actual creature that created the later legend of the Jersey Devil. I had no idea that we could associate the Jersey Devil legend to Benjamin Franklin.
Sure.
A rival of Benjamin Franklin. That's really interesting. That's kind of cool. I like that fact.
Yes, related to a very large man with tiny glasses and a penchant for women.
A penchant for women and
which Benjamin
electrocution.
Franklin actually, he did have quite a penchant for women.
Well, how could you not? I mean, the guy was a looker. Just look at him. Look at those descriptions.
Yes.
I mean, he's no Jersey Devil, but... Hey.
Can I sit on your lap, Mr. Franklin? Can I try on your glasses?
Please. Please.
Can you show me your printing press?
Can you give me your...
whatever.
Yes, please let me try out your kite. I want to try out your kite.
You as a presidential aficionado must have heard about Benjamin Franklin's womanizing.
Well, Benjamin Franklin wasn't a president, so...
Well, you know what? A founding father.
Okay, yeah, he's a historical
He was in
sure.
cahoots with the presidential.
Well, yeah, he's definitely an important, very, very important historical figure. So,
yes, I knew that he was never the president, but I bet you there are people that do.
I'm sure you knew that. I know. I did not know that connection to the Jersey Devil legend, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Now, of course, I would love, just because it's so interesting and to think of stuff like this potentially being real. I really do like the idea of maybe perhaps there was a family mass. How about this, Mike? I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to start a bunch of garbage. How about there is like this political conflict between Benjamin Franklin's people, and Daniel Leeds. So much so, Daniel Leeds gets such a negative perception by the well, I guess media back in the day. It's not media, but the writers, the journalists. How about there's some nefarious activity going on there?
Sure.
Politically speaking, I'm not suggesting this by any means. I'm not saying this happened. I don't believe it, but
That was hundreds of years ago. Don't worry about it.
wouldn't it be intriguing if some nefarious goings on happened and Benjamin Franklin is behind the creation of this Jersey
Ooh.
Devil legend?
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. He's like, no, we need to start this story. We need to slander this man.
Yeah.
We need
There you
to
go.
bury him.
Can I see the tattoo of the Declaration of Independence you have?
Are you asking me?
No, it's going back to Benjamin Franklin. He had a very small tattoo of the Declaration of Independence on his left buttocks cheek.
Oh,
I'm sure.
I thought you were going to say he had like an anchor on his arm or something like that.
Anyway,
I think that's one of. Yeah, I think that's one of. Have you ever seen the movie Roxanne, Mike?
no, but I've heard the song.
Yeah, well, they're not one in the same by any means. Well, then you won't get the jokes. I won't go there. Well, I guess
Once again, Patrick, have proven my stupidity
I'm
by
not.
just doubting that I would have any idea what he's talking about.
Well, no, because you would not that you wouldn't understand it, but you wouldn't make sense because you hadn't seen the movie. That's all I'm saying.
Is it the one with Steve Martin?
Yes, it is.
The Cyrano de Bergerac?
Absolutely. Well, I don't know if it's the Bergerac, but
Tom Bergeron?
well, Mike, we can wrap this up, man. What are your final thoughts on the Jersey Devil phenomenon? It is a phenomenon. People still report to
Yes.
this day seeing something.
Absolutely, they do.
unexplained.
They absolutely do. There's something to it, but it's a lot of misconstrued and agglomeration of
Amalgamation.
of different stories and sightings of different things based on the fear that was started hundreds of years ago as a however it started,
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. And
as a Ben Franklin thing or whatever.
I mean, is there a possibility? I did read this earlier. There's a possibility that simply is a demon, Mike. And we all know how you feel about demons, so we're not going to go there. But hey,
Well,
Who's
in
to
the
say?
world of demons, absolutely. I mean, if there's a chance of there being demons of anything, why not? I mean,
Well,
it's got the look, it's got the
you can't get more of a monstrosity than that.
Right.
I mean,
the horns, the forked tail.
it looks like a Frankenstein type monster put together.
Absolutely.
So I mean, not the monster itself, but it's just been put together with several different. It's like
Yeah.
a mad scientist created this beast. So that in itself, I think, will make this legend continue to linger. Just the
Oh, it will. Like many of the legends that are believable or not, they'll keep going,
yeah,
and people like us keep them going.
we do. I know.
So
And again, because we have 1 million Patreon subscribers in another
Yes,
dimension somewhere
yes.
out there. So, yeah, Mike, you and I are sitting pretty right now. We're comfortable financially because we got over a million subscribers to this.
Yeah,
to this
yeah.
stuff. So we can't.
yeah, I see a cool 10% of it.
Hey, that's a lot, isn't it? That's a lot.
Yeah. Hey, I'd be fine with that.
Well,
No
Mike,
kidding.
I'll tell you what. You start tweeting and promoting this more, then you'll get a little bit more of the cut. How does that sound, my friend?
All right, we'll
Yeah.
put together a contract.
Don't say put out. Don't ever say that.
Yeah. No, if we had to start doing contracts, anything that had to do with this between you and I would quit.
Exactly. Yep. No, we're not going down that
No.
path, my friend.
We're having too much fun and enjoying.
Well, 100%. And I
Everything we
joke
do.
and I kid. It's all it's in jest. I mean, we can't
Of course,
we can't
that's
thank you
part of our
guys
deal.
enough. We can't thank you guys enough who are handing over, some of your hard-earned money to listen to us, and we appreciate it so much. We hope you stick around and tell your friends about it. We'd love to see this grow. No question about that. Mike, this has been fun. This has been
Absolutely. We did better than what we thought we would.
I think so. It helps when you have a book to read from.
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
All right, buddy. Until next time, my friend. What do our awesome paranormal family members need to do, buddy?
Do I do that for this episode of stuff?
You can
Yes,
say-
peace out.
You can do whatever the hell you want.